friends. Thanks for joining me today. It's lightly snowing outside my studio. It's just pretty outside. And I'm in the mood to paint some lemons. I've got another lemon video. It's 3 lemons. I'll have to look up the title of it. It's on a green background. It's sold right away. So I want to paint another one for the gallery. And then I thought you guys might want to paint along with this one. So I just sketched out 3 lemons. You can Google what lemons in a lemon tree look like. And I made it tall to go on my 12 by 24 inch canvas. But I drew this, the border's 3 inches by 6 inches. And then I decided I wanted it to fill up the space a little better. So I scanned it into my computer. I was a graphic designer for 22 years or more. I still do a little bit of graphic design work. So I scanned it into my computer and I just cropped in on the image. So I think that fills the canvas a little bit better. And then the black lines are just in Photoshop where I made the leaves a little bigger. And then I'll have a traceable for those of you who don't like to draw. I may just draw this one on the canvas. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But so you can, if you don't like to draw, I've got a traceable that I've set up and I'll get that up on my website way before the video posts. Anyway, lemons are a really easy, simple, good place to start painting. I always write love on the canvas before I start. There are a couple videos I was so excited to get started, I forgot. So I want to get this done so I don't forget. And I think I'm going to paint. Oh, here, I probably should talk towards my phone. I got a microphone for Christmas, but it just wasn't working very well. So when I turn my head, I bet the volume goes down. Anyway, I wrote love on my canvas. This is just watercolor pencils. It'll dissolve right into the paint. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I think I'm going to do a dark background. I'm going to use a combination of black. I'm going to use a combination of black and prism violet. And the reason for the prism violet, I'm thinking, is because it's the complement of the yellow lemons. Yellow and purple are complement, so I think it might make the painting look a little bit more juicy, for lack of a better word. Okay, I'm going to get started painting on the background. Pop in because a couple things happened. Here, I'll show you the brush I'm using. It's a filbert, it's a Royal Langnickel. It says number 12, but sometimes the little brushes say number 12. So I do not understand how brushes are numbered and sized. Hopefully you could hear that when I turned away. And then I ran out of color pretty quick. It's, as I mentioned, it's snowing. I have my studio window open, so it's really dry in here. And then I mixed a little more color, and it was a little more purple than I wanted. That's not a problem. And then I decided to paint the sides, as long as I turn my phone video off, just to make it easier to paint the front. I paint the bottom black, and then I brought that up a little bit to make it easier as I'm painting. One of the reasons I turned it off is because I needed to stand up to see. Normally you don't paint above your shoulder. Normally I'd paint here and down when you're sitting in an easel, but I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, and then was there anything else? Oh, so it's Mars Black and Prism Violet, and it's about half and half, a little less black than the purple, but just add black slow to your pile of purple until you get a good color that you like. Okay, I think that's about all I wanted to say. Back to the time lapse. I got a little sidetracked. I painted this little ladybug for my agent. They had a manufacturer request a couple of things from me, and this is one of them. They wanted it on aqua. Isn't that nice and colorful? But it's been a couple days. Sorry, I'm trying to talk towards my phone, and then when I look this way, I'm like, oh no, don't do that, because I don't have a microphone. It's been a couple days since I've worked on the lemon painting. So I wasn't going to do a traceable. I mean, I have a traceable on my website that you can download. I suggest sending $1, but send what you can afford. And then I thought, well, it needed to be scaled up. So I printed it out at 400% so that it would fit my 12 by 24 canvas. It's 3 by 6 inches on my website. And that worked great. Oh, and I'll stick in, I'm remembering now, I took a photo of what that looks like in Adobe Acrobat, I believe it is. The PDF window, and then printing it out at 400%, and then you choose tiling, poster, and then tiling. I'll stick that image in right here. And then I just traced on the back and transferred it to my canvas. The red tape is just artist tape. You could use masking tape. Just use what's, in any of my videos, just use what supplies you have. I just tell you how I do it. And I'm really liking it. It looks more purple when I look in my phone camera, but I'm really liking this muted plum color. It's really pretty. And I was just thinking as I painted it, sort of the light areas in here, definitely darker at the bottom, darker at the corners, just to keep the viewer in the canvas. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, my palette. I keep turning away from the phone. So I don't know what yellow I want to use for the lemons. So I put out all the yellows I have. So that's, I think, like lemon yellow or yellow light, Naples yellow, Turner's yellow, and Cad yellow medium. I'm just not sure what I want to do. And then I love Hooker's green. So I have Hooker's green out. I put a little black on top of my Hooker's green. I'm going to mix that up. And then Mars black. And then, of course, titanium white. So I think I'm going to paint the leaves. I think I'm going to paint the leaves first. Maybe keep them a little bit more pushed back. I think I'm going to maybe paint a little white on the highlights of the lemons. And then maybe paint straight yellow over the purple, because that'll tone down the yellow anyway, which is why I don't know what yellow I want. And then just the highlights will have a little bit more contrast, a little bit more punch. The yellows are transparent, so we'll see how the different yellows look. I also think from here on out I'll do a time lapse. My videos have been getting longer and longer, and it's more work for favorite daughter. So let's get started. friends, let's talk about these lemons. A little ways back in a time lapse, I had them very pretty and smooth, and they looked nice, and it was good. I don't know if you noticed, but I put layers, and I had a lot of transparency. I don't know how many layers are on these lemons because I kept adding to it and adding to it, and then I came back and put in some of the green for shadow, and I just wasn't liking it. And I was blaming, I tend to do this, I think. I tend to blame the background. And really, I think the background was gorgeous. As my favorite daughter, thanks favorite daughter, pointed out, they just needed more textures. The leaves were already pretty good when I was telling her I didn't like it, but the lemons needed more texture. So I'm gonna show you up close. Oh, and then before I show you, so remember. So one thing I did is in the leaves, all the colors I've used in this painting are in the leaves. So there's some purple that you saw me put in. There's some purple here in the stem. That black is actually dark purple. And then some of the greens, some of the yellows. So it helps tie it all together. And then another thing I did is this isn't white. Maybe I can show you. You don't have to use white to make it look white. Just sort of a little trick or tip. This lemon yellow ends up looking quite white on that dark purple background. So it's right, that one right there. You can use white. It's just sometimes it's a little trick. Another trick is putting all the colors that I use in the painting in the leaves so it helps tie it together. And then I just added, towards the end, you just start playing. You know, I added patches of yellow-orange. It was already right out of the tube. I didn't have to mix it. And then I added little sparkles of highlights, little edges of highlights, just so it starts to kind of dance and sparkle and play on the canvas. Okay, I think that's all I really wanted to show you. But see all the texture in that lemon? And then those highlights, especially in the video, look white. And then the yellow and purple are complements. Here, I'll show you a couple leaves. And then you can see the brushstroke direction with the highlights and the details on the stem go horizontal around the stem. When I first painted on, it goes vertical. Oh, and then, well, I guess I'll finish this first and I'll tell you what I just thought of. I think it turned out really pretty. It's a really simple painting, and I could keep playing. I mean, you could keep going and going. One of the things I was thinking of is I would paint the background some more purples, shades of purples, and have it be the direction of the leaves and the lemons. Kind of like I did in that black and white snowman. It's the same size as this canvas. You can take a look at that video if you like. What was the other thing I was going to think of, and now I forgot? Oh, well. Hopefully it'll come back to me. If it does, I'll pop back in. Thank you. Oh, I know what it was. It came back to me. So on my Traceable, I had these little, so some lemons have sort of a bump where it attaches to the stem, and sometimes they don't have that bump. And all of mine do have the bump, but I made them smaller than in my Traceable. So if you want to do that, you can. You don't have to. You could leave that bump off if you use my Traceable. Just wanted to point that out. Okay. Hope you really enjoyed this painting. It's a good study of complement. It's a good study for shading. You can make it as smooth or as rough as you want, or as brush strokey as you want. It's also a good tip to put every color into your painting to use it in other places. Even though you don't think of purple in the shadow, it looks great. Okay, guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you see another video and you want a Traceable for it, let me know. Great big art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon, guys. Bye.